Madden holiday is here and we will play all night. Calling sick and sound sincere, in tackles will delight. The fridge is packed with drink and meat, the taste of victory sure is sweet.
Okay, so obviously we're going to be covering mainly the NFL stuff. We'll talk about the big movings and goings on in college football when we cover the conference championships in that video, okay? Okay. So yeah, I did go 5-3 overall last week, but those three were all on the NFL side. I missed on Dallas over Kansas City, Cincinnati over Baltimore, and of course Chicago over Philadelphia. I admittedly did not expect Joe Burrow was going to be back for the Bengals, but even then, I don't think I had too much hope that the Bengals were going to win that game, and yet they did. So, again, I was recording that before the announcement had been made, so yeah, just kind of didn't know how that was going to turn out. And not only that, but the Ravens offense made a lot of mistakes during that game, and that's kind of where it sort of fell apart. The other ones, I guess I'm not too surprised I really missed. Again, Kansas City's not playing as well as they've had in recent years, and the Eagles also are not playing very well. And I thought those teams had turned the corner, and they really hadn't. So, yeah, that's just kind of how it turns out, I guess. And yet, those holiday games were a bit more impactful than many people would probably thought they would be. With Carolina beating the Rams this past week, that means the Bears are now the number one overall seed in the NFC, and the Packers are effectively number two, even though they're in the same division. So their game this week between Chicago and Green Bay is basically for the overall NFC lead. The Ravens didn't exactly falter too much as the Steelers lost to the Bills, so whatever lead that Pittsburgh had in the AFC North is completely gone again. So again, Baltimore is back in charge there. Another couple of games that had some great importance. The Colts lost to the Texans, and the Jaguars managed to defeat the Tennessee Titans, which I guess maybe isn't that important, but that allowed Jacksonville to take over the lead of the AFC South. Also, the Jets beat the Falcons on a last-second field goal that I think barely qualified as a make. With the Chargers, Justin Herbert suffered an injury on his non-throwing hand in their big win over the Raiders, so now maybe Trey Lance is going to wind up playing. Herbert needs surgery on it. Now, I'm going to admit that I was writing this before the conclusion of the Sunday night game, and the Monday night game is literally just started as I'm recording it, so I'm not going to get too much into there except a little bit when we start covering things a bit later. And of course, I have to be remiss if I don't mention that the Vikings were shut out by the Seahawks, meaning once again that Deathmate's grip has gotten ever so tighter. All hail Deathmate. All hail Deathmate. All hail Deathmate.
All hail Deathmate. All hail Deathmate. All hail Deathmate. All hail Deathmate. All hail Deathmate. All hail Deathmate. All hail Deathmate. All hail Deathmate. All hail Deathmate. All hail Deathmate.
The NFL games that we're going to be covering this week include Denver versus Las Vegas, the LA Rams versus Arizona, Indianapolis versus Jacksonville, and Miami versus the New York Jets. Alright, come back after the break and we'll start covering these things.
Playing Santa just got easier. JCPenney is kicking off its 3-day sale with 2 hours of extra savings this Friday from 8 to 10 a.m. Save 30% on men's dress shirts, women's winter weight sleepwear and robes, and all tops and bottoms for boys and girls, infants and toddlers. Don't miss these early bird specials Friday from 8 to 10 a.m. and the 3-day sale this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. JCPenney, we bring out the Santa in you.
JCPenney.
how you sign them, the Christmas cards that show you care enough to send the very best also carry another special signature, Hallmark, where Christmas traditions begin.
They've been cheated on, lied to, and betrayed.
Damn him!
Now Stephanie Powers, Catherine Hellman, and Crystal Bernard wonder, when will I be loved, on NBC Monday. It's an unclaimed treasure of the Wild West, and you can find its whereabouts. Plus, you can inherit millions and a royal fortune. See how to strike it rich on Unsolved Mysteries on NBC Wednesday.
Our first matchup is the Denver Broncos taking on the Las Vegas Raiders in what feels like the sequel to a horror movie that no one wanted. And by that I mean the horror movie no one wanted. I don't even just mean the sequel. The last game was so bad that, let's face it, it set football back about 50 years, and not in a good way. As for recently, the Broncos barely squeaked by the Commanders in overtime. Now, on the plus side, it does seem that their offense has finally improved and is getting better. Nix is throwing the ball a lot better. He's got receivers like Troutman and Franklin who have stepped up and made some big plays. R.J. Harvey seems to be running the ball well, but sometimes it gets a little grindy. And now it seems the defense is not playing well. It's either that or this Washington game was just a fluke. As for the Raiders, they stink. Their offense did start to improve a little bit after they fired Chip Kelly last week. They did okay against the Chargers. Not great, but okay. And not good enough to win, just better. But outside of Max Crosby, the Raiders also have absolutely no defense to speak of at this point. Denver's a better overall team. They're playing much better as of late. This will not be a repeat of the Thursday night affair. The Broncos are going to win this game rather handily. It's probably not even going to be that close. So yeah, I'm picking the Broncos here.
The night before Christmas, when all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. Remember, he only looks like Santa Claus. You've made it through Halloween. Now try and survive Christmas. Silent Night, Deadly Night, rated R.
Starts Friday at a theater near you.
What do you call a car that has learned to use the wind? A car designed to settle in when you race into it head on and stabilize when it buffets you from the side. Road and Track called it one of the 10 best cars in the world. But it is probably better known as the Infiniti Q45.
Come on to my subway are coming into my house.
I love the city. I was raised here. I was born here.
It wouldn't be New York without the subway.
I haven't given up, but I think we have to really get tough.
I'm not giving up. My cops aren't giving up, and New Yorkers shouldn't give up.
I feel New York is a community.
People come to my subway station. When they see me, they know they're going to be all right.
I'm here to help. I'm here to stay.
Don't miss the annual Christmas tree lighting, Monday night at 7:30.
Our next matchup is Indianapolis taking on Jacksonville, and the Colts seem to be flushing their season down the drain. I mentioned this a couple weeks ago. They had a big lead over Kansas City, and if they had won that game, they probably would have easy claim to the number one seed in the AFC, and they completely blew it. They followed that up by underperforming against the now resurgent Texans, and now the Colts no longer lead the AFC South. They are trailing Jacksonville, just as the Colts' schedule is now starting to get really tough. For some reason, the Colts have completely abandoned the idea of giving Jonathan Taylor the ball, and they're putting this all on Daniel Jones' shoulders, which probably isn't so good because he's obviously broken his fibula and he's not as mobile as he normally is. Added to that, again, the defense is still streaky. It's the one problem I've really had in putting a lot of faith behind the Colts right now. So that hasn't helped much either. Now, the Jaguars are also really unpredictable. I mean, dominating the Tennessee Titans, the worst team in the league, really isn't saying much. And in their previous game before that, they blew a lead to Arizona and had to win in overtime. On the plus side, the return of Brian Thomas Jr. from the injured reserve list has helped bolster the receiving corps, not to mention Travis Etienne and Bashal Tutin are running the ball very well. That being said, much like the Colts, their main problem is that their defense is wholly unpredictable. Now, with one of the little factoids in the NFL being that the Colts have only won once in Jacksonville over the last decade, it's not really looking good for them. That being said, they do have a chance to win. I do think that maybe they're the better team on paper, but they need to get Jonathan Taylor the ball right now. That's the way they are going to win. They're not going to do this by having Daniel Jones throw like 40 passes again, or whatever that weird tush-push thing they had against the Texans was. Right now, I just don't have faith that they're going to do that. I think they're going to still try to be cute. Again, it's that dang McVay-Shanahan coaching tree striking again. It's just, right now, I've got a little more faith in Jacksonville. I think they're going to win this one. It'll be close, but yeah, I like the Jaguars here.
Can you solve the case of the missing case? Well, now you know what happened.
Hey! Who's turning out the lights? There's a case of Miller Lite missing. Who took it?
Well, during May, there'll be clues and entry forms where light is sold. And if you crack the case, you'll get a crack at all kinds of prizes, like a mystery vacation worth 10 grand. And hurry, because the culprit's going to be revealed Sunday, June 1st on network television.
Oh, Mickey! It's no mystery that there's only one light beer, Miller Lite.
Awesome. Hi.
So how'd you do your hair? Jumper cables?
How do you say I'm blew it? How do you read your words?
What'd I say?
How can you say I'm sorry?
What'd I do?
In a way she's never heard.
Hallmark presents To Kids with Love Cards. A wonderful way to tell kids anything from you're doing great to you're on my mind.
Hallmark has a way to make somebody's day, making every word ring true.
You're growing up so fast that I sometimes forget you're not a little kid anymore. I'm sorry if I treated you like one. Love, Daddy. Dad.
Hallmark has a way to make somebody's day. Hallmark has a way.
Wednesday, a special presentation of Midnight Caller. The station taken hostage, forced to try a murderer on the air.
We're doing a live remote with the kidnappers for murder.
This is somebody's life we're talking about here.
The public decides the verdict. The sentence may be death.
You think I'm guilty?
You're all drafted for jury duty.
Midnight Caller at 9, 8 Central on NBC Wednesday.
Our next matchup is the LA Rams taking on Arizona, and speaking of teams that may have flushed their season down the drain, many experts were putting the Rams in the Super Bowl after their big victory over the Seahawks a couple weeks ago. Now, I have my doubts. I mean, the reason why I picked the Seahawks was I don't have a lot of faith in the Rams after they blew that big lead against the Eagles. And to be honest, the Rams did not play terribly against the Panthers. They just turned the ball over a little too much, and that's ultimately what costs them. If they're going to have any chance in this game, they've got to rein that in. You can't let Arizona build up any type of confidence like that. As for the Cardinals themselves, well, they're kind of a dead team walking. I think it's obvious that Gannon is not going to be there at the end of this season. I'm surprised he hasn't been fired already. They've had some close games in the last 2 weeks, but can you really remember anything about those games? I mean, I honestly can't, and I watched most of them. Right now, I think the Cardinals are just kind of going through the motions. Sometimes they play good. More often than not, they don't. That's really all I can say. The Cardinals just aren't very good right now. The Rams are the better team. They should probably win this one by multiple possessions. So yeah, the Rams will win here.
Car over the past 5 years, but we just can't leave good enough alone. Now, with more standard equipment than ever, fuel-injected power, and sleek aerodynamics. Introducing the new 1991 Excel. At this new low price, we've made a good thing a whole lot better. Get up to $1,500 cash back on 90 Excels and $750 on 91s.
One day, the Cinchels got sick and tired of getting their hands dirty from wimpy garbage bags.
Wimpy.
So Sid Cinchel got Sarah Cinchel a cinch sack.
Hefty cinch sack. It's a cinch to close.
Said Sarah.
A cinch to lift.
Said Sid.
Cinch to carry.
Said Sis. And that's how the Cinchels went from wimpy to a neat, clean cinch sack.
Hefty cinch sack.
And never touched garbage again.
It's far-out comedy from another world. The cat from outer space.
It's your little pussycat. Came from another planet and landed right here on Earth. You're serious? I'm serious. The power that cat possesses is awesome.
He's an interplanetary stray with pussycat power. Ken Barry, McLean Stevenson, Sandy Duncan, Walt Disney Productions, The Cat from Outer Space. Rated G. Follow the tracks to a theater near you.
Our final matchup is Miami taking on the New York Jets, and wow, I must have been really bored when I picked this game. Now, the Dolphins are playing better in recent weeks. Devin Achane is running the ball really well, and the defense has stepped up to carry the team through certain spots. I guess the GM that they fired earlier this season was really the one who was weighing them down the whole time. Now, the Jets, well, they did win last week, and a lot of their losses this season have actually been pretty close. They are not as bad a team as a lot of people say they are. I mean, with the exception of the games against the Bills, Cowboys, and Patriots, like I said, most of them tend to just be by about 3 points. So the defense does play surprisingly average, and I think with Tyrod Taylor coming in to play quarterback, that's brought some stability to the offense. Now, the game is in New Jersey, which means it's going to be cold, which is obviously something that's going to wind up hindering the Dolphins. It just traditionally has, especially under Mike McDaniel. But I think the Dolphins' run game is the key here. If that can get going, that can easily carry them to victory. So, yeah, I'm going to go with the Dolphins here. I think they're just kind of playing a little bit better than the Jets, and let's face it, you really can't pick the Jets to win much of anything. So, yeah, I'm going with Miami here. All right, we'll come back to wrap things up after the break.
When unforgettable moments have made this a year to remember. Start collecting those memories with keepsake ornaments, only at Hallmark, where Christmas traditions begin.
I think I'll try it. What a great shot of me! And the McDonald's Happy Meal, guys? Fries! Hamburgers! Fries! And soft drinks! All regular size! You got the picture!
Ho, ho, ho!
When you buy McDonald's Happy Meal featuring Santa Claus the movie, you get one of 4 full-color storybooks or coloring books.
Thank you, Santa! Ho, ho, ho!
McDonald's Happy Meal featuring Santa Claus coloring or storybooks.
Tuesday, powerful men are murdered, and the killer sets his sights on Matlock.
Where are you?
Then,
He wasn't in his right mind.
Tim's search for a suspected killer leads to his own family.
There ain't no family no more.
In the heat of the night after Matlock on NBC Tuesday.
Okay, so to wrap things up for, the NFL side, I like Denver over Las Vegas, Jacksonville over Indianapolis, the LA Rams over Arizona, and Miami over the New York Jets. Okay, so the next video is going to be covering the College Football Conference Championships. I'm not going to go through all those games. You're just going to see them on screen right now. The games we'll be covering next week are Army versus Navy. Then on the NFL side, we have Cleveland versus Chicago, the LA Chargers versus Kansas City, Washington versus the New York Giants, Detroit versus the LA Rams, and Indianapolis versus Seattle. After that, it will be the non-college football playoff bowl game lineup. This year, we're covering the Myrtle Beach Bowl, the New Orleans Bowl, the Pinstripe Bowl, the New Mexico Bowl, the Independence Bowl, the Sun Bowl, the Armed Forces Bowl, and the Holiday Bowl. Then after that, we'll be covering the first round of the college football playoff. Then on the NFL side, we'll be covering New England versus Baltimore, Tampa Bay versus Carolina, the New York Jets versus New Orleans, and Pittsburgh versus Detroit. Yeah, I don't know why I picked the Jets again, but I guess I did. Alright, see you all next time. Hey guys, remember that you can support my work at patreon.com/sleepytimeforcat productions, or just click the link in the description. Also, remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so that you can be made aware of further videos.